delivering value authentically, exploring great books worldwide. Hi there, this is Sally Book Club. Today we're diving into how to read a book. Many people face these issues, not knowing what to read, forgetting content while reading, or losing retention shortly after finishing books. In this age of information overload, how can we read more efficiently? That's exactly what we'll be discussing today. Author Mortimer Adler was an extraordinary American educator. His life story reads like a novel. At 14, Adler dropped out to deliver newspapers, yet pursued journalism by enrolling in University of Chicago night classes. After graduation, he surprisingly got admitted to U Chicago's undergraduate program, launching his academic rocket. He not only earned his PhD within years, but also served as director of U Chicago's Philosophy Institute and spearheaded the Great Books program. While you might not know this classic literature initiative, you've certainly heard of Encyclopedia Britannica. Adler edited its 1974 edition. First published in 1940, How to Read a Book remains Adler's most celebrated work. In 1972, Adler's collaborator, Charles Van Doren from Columbia University, substantially expanded the text into its current form. This book has stayed on bestseller lists for nearly 80 years internationally. In China, it's been reprinted over 30 times, a testament to its enduring impact. The author categorizes reading into 4 progressive levels: elementary, inspectional, analytical, and syntopical. These levels build upon each other systematically. Therefore, we must develop our reading skills step by step. Now let's break down these 4 levels of reading mastery. First comes elementary reading, the foundation. To read any book, we must first recognize the words and comprehend their combined meaning in phrases and sentences. This addresses understanding the sentence's meaning. The most fundamental level, literacy, forms the basic requirement here, recognizing characters and comprehending text. Oh, well, I'll keep this brief since we're all familiar with these basics. Now let's explore the second level, inspectional reading, systematic skimming. This level demands efficiently grasping key points through skimming or rapid reading. Imagine having 30 minutes to choose a book for your flight. You'd systematically evaluate if it's worth deeper engagement. The staff hands you The Age of Enlightenment. First examine its cover, then approach it like a detective. Follow these investigative steps to uncover the book's essence. Step 1. Analyze the title page and any prefaces or subtitles. Note the subtitle, The Science of Freedom, indicating Enlightenment-era perspectives on progress and society. This reveals it examines Enlightenment thinkers' views across multiple disciplines. Though set in 17th to 18th century Europe, it differs from works like Diary of a Cat or The Sorrows of Young Werther. Step 2. Study the table of contents to understand structural framework. Chapters like Rediscovering Courage and From Experience to Manifesto outline Enlightenment's intellectual evolution. Perfect for comprehensive understanding of modernity's foundational movement. But if seeking Newton or Rousseau's personal anecdotes, you might want to request different reading material. Step 3. If there's an index, scan it. Most academic works include indexes to quickly locate key information. In the Age of Enlightenment's index, you'll find terms like querelle des anciens et des modernes, absolutism, and figures like John Adams or Edison. The index helps identify frequency and context of these elements, aiding content evaluation. Fourth step, review promotional blurbs. Publishers distill core concepts to attract readers quickly. The Dust Jacket highlights. National Book Award winner, praised by New York Review of Books as the most comprehensive examination of Enlightenment thinkers, an informational goldmine. These endorsements clearly indicate the book's focus on Enlightenment philosophers' actions and its comprehensive coverage of diverse perspectives. Fifth step, sample chapters related to core themes, especially those with summaries. Finally, skim randomly. particularly the final pages where authors often reinforce key ideas. This systematic approach maximizes information extraction within limited time. You'll then determine if deeper reading warrants your time investment. Even if rejecting it, you've grasped the author's core arguments. This mental bookmark enables future recall when needed. Time spent on inspectional reading never goes wasted. As Francis Bacon said, some books should be tasted, some devoured, but only a few chewed and digested. When seeking deeper knowledge from a book, we ascend to the third level, analytical reading. Analytical reading comprises three key steps. First, categorize the book to determine appropriate reading methodology. Second, articulate the core thesis in your own words. The third, critically evaluate the completed work. Different genres demand distinct reading approaches. Identification precedes engagement. Is it fiction, historical text, or scientific literature? Clarify before proceeding. Expository works, academic or popular science, employ inductive reasoning to convey knowledge. Authors build arguments through verified experiments leading to conclusions. Disciplinary jargon serves as conceptual signposts. Track these specialized terms to locate core ideas. In Darwin's Origin of Species, key terms include species, variation, hybrid, evolution, survival. Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations centers on terms like wealth, labor, capital, land value. Fictional works require different engagement strategies. They offer direct experiential immersion. Quality fiction grounds imagination in emotional truth rather than pure fantasy. It provides access to realities beyond ordinary experience. Synchronize with characters' thoughts, dialogues, and actions for authentic connection. This empathetic alignment unlocks the work's essence. Most of us will never experience dimensional warfare like in the three-body problem, nor life-altering trauma like protagonist Ye Wenji. Yet we can empathize with characters as imaginary companions, sharing their joys and despairs through catastrophic events. Oh, the crucial first step. Clearly identify a book's genre before applying appropriate reading techniques. Then articulate the core thesis in your own words. This constitutes analytical reading's second phase. The ultimate goal? Transforming book knowledge into personal understanding. Vague impressions won't suffice. Otherwise, the content fades from memory within days. The author insists there's only one true test of comprehension. Can you distill the essence into a precise personal summary? Without this synthesis, words remain disconnected symbols rather than meaningful discourse. Aristotle championed this approach centuries ago. He famously summarized Homer's 12,000-line epic in one paragraph. A man endures divine wrath during his decade-long voyage home, survives storms, defeats usurpers, and reclaims his family and kingdom. This concise encapsulation captures the entire Odyssey's essence. The final analytical step: critically evaluate the author's arguments. Reading shouldn't be passive absorption. It's active intellectual combat. Maintain constant mental dialogue, challenge assumptions, dissect logic. This dialectic process leads to either acceptance or reasoned rejection. As Mencius warned, complete belief in books is worse than having no books at all. He developed this skepticism while questioning historical accounts and the Book of Documents. The single quote Book of Documents describes the Mue battle. Shang troops defected, causing catastrophic defeat. Blood flowed till shields floated. Mencius argued King Wu's overthrow of tyrant Zhao was morally justified revolution. If defectors caused Shang's collapse, why extreme bloodshed? This logical inconsistency demands scrutiny. Either the historical account contains factual errors, or the Book of Documents recorded events inaccurately. Thus, Mencius taught critical engagement. Even canonical texts require verification through reason. The author warns, never critique before fully understanding. Hold your horses until comprehension crystallizes. The temporary suspension of judgment demonstrates intellectual respect for authors. When critiquing, clearly state evaluation criteria: factual accuracy, logical coherence, argument completeness, valid criticism targets. knowledge gaps, factual errors, logical fallacies, or incomplete analyses. Thus, analytical reading demands constant self-inquiry. Do I truly comprehend this? Can I substantiate my agreement or disagreement? Having mastered elementary, inspectional, and analytical reading, we ascend to the pinnacle, syntopical reading. Syntopical reading solves problems through comparative analysis of multiple works on a theme. How does one conduct syntopical reading? Let's break it down. Two-phase process: preparatory stage and active reading stage. Preparation demands razor-sharp thematic focus. Specificity prevents wasted effort. Clear parameters streamlined bibliography selection and data analysis. Example: researching love yields 3 divergent works. Author 1, I love durian. Author 2, I love Messi. Demonstrating need for thematic refinement. The third author says, I love my country. Same word love carries distinct meanings across contexts. Thus, you must refine your scope through operational definitions. Specify. Focus on interpersonal love, better yet, romantic partnerships, for meaningful thematic analysis. This targets works like Intimate Relationships, The 5 Love Languages, and Gone with the Wind. How to filter books aligning with your refined theme. Remember our earlier discussion on inspectional reading? Let's recap. Analyze titles, authors, tables of contents, indexes, then sample key passages. If avoiding fiction about love, eliminate Gone with the Wind from your list. With biography finalized, the preparatory phase concludes. Now on to Syntopical Reading's 5-step process. Step 1. Chapter mining. You've already inspected numerous books, grasped their general content, and defined your research focus. Next task, target specific chapters across all texts. No need for cover-to-cover reading. Emphasis on surgical extraction, not comprehensive consumption. Example: researching smoking and lung cancer? Consult The Emperor of All Maladies, The Cancer Chronicles, etc. The Truth About Cancer covers oncology fundamentals. However, focus solely on its lung cancer chapter. Remember, your goal dictates selective engagement. Efficiency triumphs over completionism. Reiterating, problem-solving orientation saves precious time, resources. Step 2. Terminology alignment, the most challenging syntopical phase. Different authors employ varying terminology. Your task becomes conceptual harmonization. Therefore, you must establish conceptual consensus. Define terminology serving your research needs. Lead the semantic parade rather than following authors' lexical choices. For smoking and lung cancer, nicotine, tar, carcinoma, immune system become key operational terms. Step 3. Formulate precise research questions. With terminology set, crystallize your investigative queries. Does smoking always cause lung cancer? What's the optimal treatment protocol? Are there dietary preventatives? These questions focus your reading like laser targeting. But prepare for unanswered questions and ongoing debates. Expect conflicting answers across sources. That's where wisdom grows. Step 4. Catalog controversies. List all perspectives under each question. When multiple credible sources present opposing views, you've struck intellectual gold. Controversy indicates uncharted knowledge territory. Example: the efficacy debate around immunotherapy for lung cancer demands comprehensive perspective mapping. Step 5. Analytical synthesis. Discuss compiled evidence. Unresolved controversies represent knowledge frontiers, not failures. Your goal isn't definitive answers, but contextual understanding through multi-angled analysis. Categorize arguments, evidence-supported theories versus debunked claims. Only through this taxonomy can we claim substantive problem solving. Thus concludes How to Read a Book, a manual enhancing both knowledge acquisition and cognitive development. Reading progresses through 4 tiers: elementary, literacy, fundamentals; inspectional, strategic evaluation, analytical, deep engagement, and syntopical, comparative synthesis. Level 2. Inspectional reading requires evaluating titles, tables of contents, and indexes. Then sample key passages through skimming to grasp the book's essence. Level 3. Analytical reading involves categorizing books by genre, selecting appropriate methodologies, and articulating core theses in your own words. The final tier. Syntopical reading positions you as director of knowledge, solving problems through comparative analysis. May this journey deepen your reading mastery and bring intellectual joy. Thus concludes our exploration of how to read a book. The insights await below. Until tomorrow, happy reading.